Good morning students. Welcome to Marudhar Senior Secondary School online classes. In this video of class 9th, we will discuss geography chapter 2nd, that is the physical features of India. In our previous video we have seen the plate tectonic theory and the Pangaea as well. Now move to the next. Today we will talk about the major physical feature of India. So let's start the class. First we saw a word that is Gondwana land in our previous video. What is Gondwana land? Gondwana land is the southern part of the ancient supercontinent Pangaea with Angara land in the northern part. Means I told you, when there was only one island existed, the island divided into two parts. The south part of the island was known as Gondwana land and the northern part of the the supercontinent is Angara land. Now the complete with Gondwana land and Angara land, they are collectively known as Pangaea. The Himalaya uplift out of the Tethys Sea and subsidence of northern flank of the peninsular plateau resulted in the formation of a large basin. Now moving forward to the physical features of India, we have 6 physical features of India: the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains and the island groups of India. Start our first physical feature, that is the Himalayan mountain. Himalayan mountain is situated in the north part of our India. The Himalayas, geologically young structural fold mountain, stretch over the northern border of India. These mountain ranges run in the west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. River. The Himalayas represent a loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They form an arc which covers a distance about 2,400 km. Their width varies from 400 km in Kashmir to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh. In Jammu Kashmir, its width is 400 km and in Arunachal Pradesh it is 150 kilometers. The Himalayas consist the 3 parallel ranges in the longitudinal extent. A number of valleys lie between these ranges. The northernmost range is known as Greater Himalaya or Inner Himalaya. We can divide our Himalaya into 3 parts: the Greater Himalaya, Himachal and the Shivalik. The Greater Himalaya is also known as Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. It is the most continuous range consisting of loftiest peak with an average height of 6,000 meters. It contains all prominent Himalayan peaks just as K2, Jaskar, Nanga Parvat, Karakoram Peak, Kailash not Kailash. Kailash range also. The range lying in the roots in the south of Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system and is known as Himachal and Lesser Himalaya. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters and average width of 50 kilometers, while the Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range. Which region? The Kangra, Kullu and Himachal, these regions, and obviously this Himachal region is also well known for its hill station. Now next is the outermost range of Himalaya is called the Shivalaks. They extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and have an altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters. These ranges are composed of a consolidated sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalaya ranges. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivalaks are known as dunes, just as Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun are some of well-known dunes here. These divisions have been demarcated by the river valleys. For an example, the part of Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj has been traditionally known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also known as regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya from west to east respectively. The part of Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali River is known as Common Himalayas. The Kali and Tista rivers demarcate at Nepal Himalayas, and the part lying between Tista and Dihang River is known as Assam Himalaya. There are regional names of these broad categories. The Brahmaputra marks in the eastmost boundary of the Himalaya beyond the Dihang the Himalaya bends sharply to the south and spread along to east boundary of India. They are known as Purvanchal or the eastern hills and mountains. The Purvanchal comprises the Patkai hills, the Naga hills, etc. This was our first physical feature of India, that is known as the Himalayas. Next, the northern plains that comes here. This region is known as the northern plains. The northern plains has been formed by the interplay of three major river systems. Those are the Indus River, the Ganga River and the Brahmaputra River, along with its tributaries. This plain is formed by alluvial soil. Alluvial soil, what is alluvial soil? Alluvial soil is the deposits of soil that is deposited by river. The soil which brings by the river is known as alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvium is a vast basin lying in the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometers, the plain being about 2,400 long and 240 to 320 kilometers broad. is a densely populated physiographic division with a rich soil cover combined with the adequate water supply and favorable climate is agriculturally a productive part of India. The river in the lower course is split into numerous channels due to the deposits of slate. These channels are known as distributaries. Northern Plains is broadly divided into three sections: the Punjab Plains, the Ganga Plains, and Brahmaputra Plains. The western part of Northern Plain is referred to as Punjab Plains, formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The large part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, just as the Jhelum, Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, the Satluj, originated in the Himalaya. This section of the plains is dominated by Doab. What do you mean by Doab? We have two words, Doab and Punjab. These words are made by two words. First is do means two, and ab means water, means those regions which is covered by two water bodies like two rivers is known as doab. As it is, panj means five, and ab means water. So those regions which is covered by five rivers is known as Punjab. So this section of the plain is dominated by Doabs, means two rivers covers this section. The Ganga plains extend between the river Ghaggar and the river Tista. It is spread over the states of North India, just as Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, and some part of Jharkhand and West Bengal to its east. Particularly in Assam lies Brahmaputra plains. Northern plains are generally described as flat land with no variations in its relief. It is not true. These vast plains also have diverse relief features. According to the variation in relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions. According to the variation in the relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions. The river, after descending from the mountains despite pebbles in the narrow belt of about 8 to 16 km in width, lying in parallel of the slopes of the Shiva lakes, it is known as Bhabar. All the streams disappear in the Bhabar belt. South of this belt, the stream river re-emerge and create a wet, symphy and marshy region known as Terai. This was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. The forests have been cleared here to create agriculture and to the settle migrants of Pakistan after partition. The large part of northern plain is formed of older alluvium. It lies above the footplains of the river and presents a terrace-like feature. This part is known as Bhangar. The soil of this region contains calcareous deposits locally known as Kankad. These newer, younger deposits of the footplains are called Khadar. They are renewed almost every year and so are fertile, thus ideal for intensive agriculture. Our next physical feature is peninsular plateau. The peninsular plateau is tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting the Gondwana land and thus making it a part of oldest landmass. This plateau consists two broad divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of Peninsular Plateau lying in the north of Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsular Plateau lying in the north of Narmada River is covering a major area of Malwa Plateau. It is known as the Central Highland. The Vindhyan Range is bounded by the Satpura Range and the south on the south and the Aravallis in the northwest. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. Here is Malwa Plateau, it is Satpura Range, Vindhyan Range in the north. We can see the Rajasthan here, the Aravalli Range and the desert side, the sandy area of Rajasthan. The flow of rivers draining this region, namely the Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa and the Kain, is formed southwest of northeast, thus indicating the slope of the Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau is locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. The Chota Nagpur marks the further eastward extension drained by Damodar River. Here it is Chota Nagpur in the east. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies in the south of the river Narmada. Here is our river Narmada. The Satpura Range flanks is broad base in north, while the Mahadev and Kaimur Hills and the Maikal Range form its east extension. Locate these hills and range. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and the slopes gently eastwards, and extension of plateau is visible in the northeast, locally known as Meghalaya. Kabri Anglong Plateau and North Chashire Hills is separated by the fault from the Chota Nagpur. Three prominent hill ranges from the west to the east are to Garo, the Khasi and the Jantai Hills. In our tomorrow class, we will discuss about Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, and we will try to complete this chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and thank you.